Warning. Warning. Data within may reveal spoilers to movies that you may have not yet seen. This organization is not responsible for any disappointments, disenchantments, and/or frustrations any spoiler may bring upon listening to the following information. You are mature enough to handle it on your own. Entry accepted.
Welcome and thank you. Your log-on and access to the Cinema Data Vault has been approved. I am B.R.O.K.S, your bio-robotic object-oriented knowledge system, your guide through the Cinema Data Vault, the world's most advanced and complete database of film, radio and television.
In the world.
Your request for Burke and Hare is ready for streaming. Beginning streaming services now. Film synopsis. The 1972 film Burke and Hare is a horror comedy film loosely based on the infamous 1828 Edinburgh murders, blending dark humour with bawdy sexploitation. The story follows William Burke and William Hare, two Irish immigrants who turn to grave robbing to supply fresh corpses to Dr. Robert Knox for his medical school's dissections, as only executed criminals' bodies were legally available. When graveyard supplies dwindle, the duo resort to murdering vulnerable locals, including those from their boarding house, to meet the demand, all while frequenting brothels and dodging suspicion. The film's mix of grim subject matter, nudity-heavy brothel scenes and a catchy theme song by The Scaffold creates a quirky, if uneven take on the notorious true crime tale, prioritizing period atmosphere and macabre farce over historical accuracy. Character breakdown. Following is a character breakdown for the main characters in the 1972 horror comedy film Burke and Hare, directed by Vernon Sewell. The characters are not deeply developed, as the film prioritizes bawdy comedy and period atmosphere over psychological depth, but each plays a distinct role in the narrative. The result is a colourful but incoherent take on the historical murders, with characters that entertain more through the actor's charisma than through nuanced writing. William Burke, played by Derren Nesbitt, is one half of the infamous duo, portrayed as a roguish, opportunistic Irish immigrant with a relatively convincing accent compared to others in the cast. He's a charming, if morally dubious figure, who initially resorts to grave robbing to supply cadavers to Dr. Knox's medical school, but escalates to murder for profit. Nesbitt's performance leans into the film's comedic tone, presenting Burke as a somewhat likeable scoundrel, notably in scenes like his topless threesome with prostitutes, which highlight the film's exploitative bent. His character lacks the cold-blooded menace of historical accounts, instead coming off as a bumbling entrepreneur caught up in a grim scheme. Derren Nesbitt, born Derren Michael Horwitz on June 19, 1935 in London, is a British actor known for his chilling portrayals of villains, most notably as the icy Gestapo Major von Harpen in Where Eagles Dare from 1968. With a career spanning from the late 1950s, he became a staple in British cinema and television, often cast as untrustworthy or menacing characters in films like The Blue Max, The Victim, as well as TV series such as Danger Man the Saint and Doctor Who. His cold, cunning features and meticulous preparation, including consulting a former Gestapo member for authenticity, made him a memorable antagonist. Nesbitt also wrote, directed, and starred in The Amorous Milkman, and continued acting into his later years, earning a cult following and a 2018 Jury Award nomination for his role as a drag queen in Tucked. William Hare, portrayed here by Glyn Edwards, is the other half of the murderous duo. He is depicted as a rougher, less charismatic counterpart to Burke, with an unconvincing accent that critics noted as a weak point. He's the more pragmatic and callous of the two, pushing their cadaver business from grave robbing to murder when supply runs low. Edwards, better known for his later role in Minder, struggles to elevate the role, which lacks the psychotic edge of earlier portrayals like in the Peter Cushing version, The Flesh and the Fiends. Hare's interactions with his wife and his willingness to exploit the boarding house lodgers underscore his greed, though the film softens his villainy with comedic undertones. Glyn Edwards, born February 2nd, 1931, was a British character actor best known for his role as Dave Harris, the affable yet gullible barman of the Winchester Club, in the ITV comedy drama Minder, where his gravelly voice and warm presence made him a fan favourite across 10 seasons. Born in Penang, Malaysia, to a rubber planter father and raised by his grandparents in Portsmouth, England, Mr. Edwards began acting in his 20s after working in Trinidad, later training at Joan Littlewood's theatre workshop. His extensive film career included roles in Zulu, The Ip File, Get Carter, and The Blood Beast Terror, where he often played policemen, criminals, or gruff authority figures, while his television work featured appearances in shows like Callan, Steptoe and Son, and The Saint. Edwards was married 3 times, including once to actress and co-star Eutha Joyce. Edwards retired in the late 90s, splitting his time between Spain and Scotland, where he lived on a houseboat named Winchester. Glyn Edwards passed away in Edinburgh on May 23, 2018. Harry Andrews stars as the surgeon and anatomist Dr. Robert Knox. It is Dr. Knox who employs Burke and Hare to supply corpses for his medical lectures. Knox is a cold, pragmatic figure with a dry sense of humour and a villainous edge, accentuated by his eye patch. Mr. Andrews' performance is a highlight, bringing gravitas to a role that could have been one note. Unlike the more sympathetic Dr. Knox in other adaptations, this version is complicit, turning a blind eye to the suspicious freshness of the bodies, though the script focuses less on his moral conflict than on his need for cadavers. He lies to cover up murders, such as claiming a victim died of alcoholism, adding to his morally ambiguous persona. Harry Andrews was born in Tunbridge, England on November 10, 1911, and was a distinguished English character actor known for his commanding presence and versatile performances across film, theatre, and television. With a career spanning over 4 decades, he appeared in nearly 80 films, often portraying authoritative figures like military officers, aristocrats, or stern patriarchs, leveraging his deep voice and imposing physique. Mr. Andrews' most notable roles include the sadistic Sergeant Major Wilson in The Hill from 1965, and Lord Wellington in the 1968 classic, The Charge of the Light Brigade. A stalwart of British cinema, Andrews also excelled on stage, earning acclaim in Shakespearean productions, and worked steadily until his death on March 6, 1989, leaving a legacy as one of Britain's finest supporting actors. Mrs. Hare is played by Eutha Joyce. Mrs. Hare is a minor but pivotal character who runs the boarding house where victims are often sourced. She's depicted as complicit in the murders, bringing vulnerable lodgers like Daft Jamie to her husband for profit. Joyce, a skilled character actress, infuses the role with a gritty, unsentimental edge, making Mrs. Hare a practical accomplice rather than a caricatured villain. Her limited screen time still conveys a sense of opportunism, aligning with the film's dark comedic tone. Eutha Joyce, born Eutha Joyce Needham in Wandsworth, London on August 20, 1927, was a British actress renowned for her role as the sexually frustrated Mildred Roper in the sitcoms Man About the House and its spin-off George and Mildred. The daughter of musical parents, she trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, toured with the Entertainment's National Service Association, and gained early success with Joan Littlewood's theatre workshop, appearing in films like The Pumpkin Eater and A Man for All Seasons, and as well as TV shows such as The Avengers. Married to actor Glyn Edwards from 1956 to 1968, Joyce struggled with alcoholism, which led to her death from liver failure at age 53 on August 24, 1980. Her comedic talent and distinctive presence made her a British cultural icon, later honoured by a 2001 ITV documentary, and the use of her image on the Smiths' 1986 single Ask. Now, for your pleasure, presenting the movie trailer for Burke and Hare.
Back in the days when willing patients were scarce and surgery was mostly guesswork, there was a great demand for bodies to practice on. some people weren't too fussy about where the bodies came from.
Give him £7.10. Thank you, sir.
Body snatching was a thriving business, but the competition was fierce, even for two such enterprising gentlemen as William Burke and William Hare.
Look, will you show a little respect for the dead man? Will you get your ass off the coffin?
It was Mrs. Hare who first had a bright idea.
What's on your mind, missus?
We don't wait for them to come here in day. We go and get them.
Are you going to get them? Come back here, will you?
Oh, there's plenty. It'd follow you to hell itself for the chance of a free dram.
And when you got him back here, what are you going to do with him? Sit and wait for him to die?
Maybe not.
Beware of them, Burke and Hare. The pair of them out to snatch your body from you. Burke and Hare, all out to you, Burke and Hare.
Baby, by God! I told you we should have got a bigger box.
Well, I thought a bigger box would be took us big or something.
What the bloody hell do you call this? Don't you say in the ranks of death you'll find him.
Hare was a jolly sort of villain. He obviously enjoyed his work. Meanwhile, Burke concentrated on the girls.
And I've got a little comfortable place down at Westport. I was thinking that maybe you might be moving in.
What? The two of us? One would be enough for you, I fancy.
Oh, now I'm full of life, you know.
No doubt about it, Burke was quite a lady killer, in more ways than one.
Mr. Burke?
Of course, he had plenty of help from his buddy, Hare.
It was a natural death then, Dr. Knox?
Oh, no, it was never a natural death.
Every day is Halloween when that gruesome twosome, Burke and Hare, are on the loose.
Watch out! Don't let them catch you, or you'll end up on a slab. Body's been a healthy pound or two in another non-offending land. Burke and Hare, beware of them, Burke and Hare. The pair of them out to snatch your body from out to snatch your body from out to snatch your body from you.
In conclusion, Burke and Hare is a horror comedy that reimagines the infamous 1828 Edinburgh murders with a mix of dark humour, bawdy sexploitation and period atmosphere, following the titular duo's descent from grave robbing to murder for profit. Anchored by Darren Nesbitt's roguish Burke and Harry Andrews' chilling Dr. Knox, the film prioritises quirky charm and risque brothel scenes over historical accuracy or narrative depth. Its uneven tone make it a curious, if flawed, cult relic of 1970s British cinema. End of data information. Ending streaming services. Thank you for using the Cinema Data Vault. The appropriate amount will be deducted from your account. Have a great day.